Hey guys, and welcome to the IGN Editor's Evil Dead Throwdown, although I'm a little concerned that it's going to be less of a throwdown and more of a general agreement. Basically, this is it. A friend of mine said to me the other day, there are three kinds of people in the world: Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. We're here to find out which one is the best of the original, not the remake, Evil Dead movies. We're going to start with you, Eric Goldman. Tell me which one and why.
Gotta go with Evil Dead 2. I have a huge love for the entire series, and Evil Dead 2, though, is the one I saw first. And that movie is just here's how Evil Dead 2 was sold to me as a youngster. Someone told me that you have to see this movie, youngling. Someone told me you have to see this movie because there is a witch trying to get out of a basement, and they're stomping on it, and her eye flies out, and there's a point of view shot of that eye going into someone's mouth, and that girl swallows the eyeball. I was sold on the movie with that. And so that to me says Evil Dead 2. Whole series is great. Army of Darkness especially I also love. But Evil Dead 2, it's that right mix of horror and comedy, and it's just a classic to me.
I think that's why most people really love it. Although, Jim, you the other day, you watched them in a row. You watched Evil Dead and then Evil Dead 2, and you said you walked away kind of enjoying Evil Dead a little bit more. Is that right?
I enjoy the first one better. I think I like the tone of the first one better. I appreciate the comedy and the wackiness of the second one, but it did irritate me a little bit that it was the same story done again, but this time kind of played more for laughs. And as many as sort of like early filmmaker kind of mistakes and sort of unevenness of the first movie, I appreciated what it was doing more, and I really kind of understood why it became such a I understood better why it became such an important movie in that genre. But I'd have to say my personal favorite of all three is Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
Just because when I went to see it 20 years ago, Charlie Sheen was at my screening.
That's all you need.
The only reason, but it was one of them.
I'll accept that reason. I love Army of Darkness too, just because I think it's sort of the most Raimi-esque in that they started out doing these fun fan videos, sort of the Three Stooges, and this one went all in. It was Three Stooges in a horror environment. I love it. Chris Carl, how about you?
Yeah, Army of Darkness all the way. And here's why. I believe that Evil Dead started off with a germ of an idea, very cool, but it actually, I think, got refined, if you can even use that term for Raimi movies. It got refined over time. So by the time we got to Army of Darkness, I think they had the tone, he had the sort of vision for what was going on, and I think Army of Darkness nails it across the board. Like, the action's good, it's funny, it's very funny. I don't know, it just feels like a whole Raimi experience to me.
I think so too. I think the general defense for Evil Dead 2 is that, like Eric said, it's that balance. It's got the horror elements. Scott, for you, is that what you sort of love about that film?
I think for me, it is Evil Dead 2, and I kind of have similar reasons to Goldman, which is that it was the first one I saw. I'd heard so much about it, but I mean, I love all of them. But Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, it's close, but I think the problem for me with Army of Darkness ultimately is that Ash is too successful and heroic at times. And I think Raimi has even said this on one of the audio commentaries on the DVD or something, but it's like, it feels uncomfortable when Ash is like cheering like because they win the day. It's like Ash is supposed to get like blood splatter in his face, or his girlfriend's supposed to get her head chopped off or something. So those moments in Army of Darkness don't quite work as well for me as the really just grueling horror, horrifically hilarious stuff that happens to him in the second film.
I feel like, though, his character has to go someplace, like if he didn't get to go to a heroic place eventually, then what was all that blood spatter in the face for, like he's got to get his in the end, and he does at S-Mart.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I see what you're saying, Scott. It's kind of funny, the idea that we just like to see him suffer, and that's the fun of it. But I also enjoyed seeing him be a little bit victorious in that movie and get the girl or girls and witches and whatever else it is that he gets. All right,
I also
final
feel like
thought.
Army of Darkness has the most memorable lines of any of them.
It really does.
Yeah.
It really does, and that actually brings me...
It's so quotable.
By the way, do you guys know that Ash's girlfriend in Army of Darkness is Price's wife from Mad Men?
No.
Oh yeah, and Beth Davids, yeah.
Yeah. Also in Schindler's List.
Schindler's List.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so final thoughts. Speaking of the most quotable lines, sort of pick your favorite moment from the entire franchise and or favorite line.
Good,
Jim, let's start with
bad, I'm the guy with the gun. That's all there is.
That's Chris jumping the gun on that answer.
All right, Chris, that's yours. Boom. Jim, what's yours?
Lady, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
Scott?
It's not really a quote, and because I just happened to watch this scene the other day, but I had forgotten about this. I love when Ash is all of a sudden playing the piano at the beginning of Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Ash can play the piano, and he's like really, Bruce Campbell's really getting into it, and his girlfriend is dancing, and it's just like, Ash, I mean, this guy has so many facets. It's amazing to me. So at the moment, that's my favorite moment.
Eric, big, passionate Evil Dead lover.
I'm gonna go with the original groovy moment from Evil Dead 2, because it's such a funny moment, and if at that point you had any doubts that they were purposely being funny, I would hope that solidified it for you. It's such a send-up of the gearing up to get ready to fight, and him saying groovy at the end of that is just a classic film moment for me.
Although also, sorry, I'm gonna jump in here. I'm probably stealing somebody's, but Swallow This is also amazing.
And clap to Vector. That's the whole program.
Let me say.
I'm going to have to...
Oh, I'm so sorry, Roth.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say something I meant to bring up earlier, which is that I think Army of Darkness obviously is a much more sort of family-friendly film in a way. So, like, my kid, I was telling you guys before we started recording, my son has actually seen parts of Army of Darkness, and he loves Ash because of that. So it's a gateway drug to what's going to come later, in a way.
You know who loves Ash? Tell him about Fowler even named his kid after Ash.
Yeah, former IGN editor, still IGN writer, named his son Ash in honor of this amazing film character.
That's amazing. I always wondered about that. Is the kid's name Ashley or just Ash?
Just Ash.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so the Evil Dead remake is coming out. My favorite line, there's so many good ones, but I'm going to have to go with "This is my boomstick." Just because it's so damn clear about what's happening.
Yeah.
Perfect Ash moment for me. But the remake obviously is coming out very soon. Completely different tone. Eric saw it. We have lots of great coverage. We have a great review. You should check it out on IGN. And make sure to leave your votes below for your favorite Evil Dead movie. You can also leave your favorite quote.
Hail to the king.